Don't we all have that one movie character we have hated our whole life? Get ready to dive into the world of cinema's most loathed characters. We're counting down the top 10 most hated characters in movies. From the ones who make your blood boil to those who leave you shaking your fist at the screen. Keep watching till the end to know more. Number 10. Terrence Fletcher, Whiplash. In Damien Chazelle's Whiplash, Terrence Fletcher emerges as a character both revered and reviled. Portrayed with chilling intensity by J.K. Simmons, Fletcher is a music instructor whose relentless pursuit of perfection borders on sadistic. His methods of teaching, which include verbal abuse, manipulation, and even physical intimidation, create an atmosphere of fear and tension among his students. Fletcher's infamous line, "Not quite my tempo," becomes a symbol of his uncompromising standards and the lengths he'll go to push his students to their limits. While some may argue that Fletcher's harsh methods yield results, others condemn his behavior as abusive and unethical. Ultimately, Fletcher's complex portrayal challenges viewers to grapple with questions of artistic greatness, the ethics of mentorship, and the human cost of achieving excellence. Number 9. Cal Hockley, Titanic. In James Cameron's Titanic, Cal Hockley embodies the epitome of privilege and entitlement. Portrayed by Billy Zane, Cal is a wealthy and arrogant fiancé of Rose DeWitt Bukater. His manipulative and controlling behavior towards Rose, as well as his disdain for those beneath his social status, make him a character audiences love to hate. Cal's obsession with maintaining appearances and preserving his own wealth and status leads him to commit despicable acts, including attempting to bribe his way onto a lifeboat during the sinking of the Titanic. Despite his outward charm and sophistication, Cal's true nature is revealed through his callous treatment of others, making him a detested antagonist in the film. Number 8. Carter Burke, Aliens. In James Cameron's Aliens, Carter Burke is the epitome of corporate greed and self-interest. Portrayed by Paul Reiser, Burke is a representative of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, tasked with retrieving the alien specimen from LV-426. However, Burke's motivations are far from altruistic, as he seeks to profit from the creature's potential as biological weapons. Burke's portrayal of the crew of the USS Sulaco and his callous disregard for human life make him a detested antagonist in the film. Despite his outward charm, Burke's true nature is revealed through the willingness to sacrifice others for his own gain, earning him the ire of both the characters and the film of the audience. Number 7. Agatha Trunchbull, or Professor Trunchatora, as she's known in Spanish, is undoubtedly one of the most despised characters in movie history. Played with cruel precision by Pam Ferris in the film Matilda, Trunchbull is the tyrannical headmistress of Cruncham Hall Elementary School. Her towering presence, coupled with her sadistic treatment of the students, makes her a figure of fear and loathing. From her penchant for throwing children by their pigtails to her infamous choky punishment chamber, Trunchbull delights in making the lives of her students miserable. Her disdain for children and her tyrannical rule over the school make her a character audiences love to hate. Number 6. Denethor, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Denethor emerges as a figure of contempt and disgust. Played with tragic arrogance by John Noble, Denethor is a steward of Gondor, whose pride and despair drive him to madness. His callous treatment of his son, Faramir, his reckless leadership in the face of Mordor's threat, and his willingness to sacrifice his people for his own ambition make him a hated character among fans of the fantasy epic. Denethor's hubris and obsession with the power and glory of Gondor blind him to the true threat posed by Sauron and his forces. His refusal to acknowledge the aid of Rohan, and his reliance on the Palantir, a seeing stone that reveals Sauron's manipulations, lead to his mental deterioration and eventual downfall. What makes Denethor a hated character is not simply his incompetence or arrogance, but his callous treatment of his own son, Faramir. Number 5. President Snow, The Hunger Games. President Snow epitomizes tyranny and oppression. Portrayed with chilling charisma by Donald Sutherland, Snow is a ruler of Panem, whose manipulative control over the titular Hunger Games serves as a means of maintaining power. President Snow, the cruel ruler from the Hunger Games, is despised for his obsessive rule over Panem. His disregard for human life and manipulation of propaganda showcases his villainy. Despite his charm, Snow's actions reveal his true nature, leading to his downfall. In short, he's a hated character for his ruthless tyranny and exploitation of others, his callous disregard for human life, his ruthless suppression of dissent, and his willingness to sacrifice children for his own political gain make him a reviled figure in the dystopian world of Panem. Snow's reign of terror and his eventual downfall at the hands of Katniss Everdeen serve as a powerful injustice. Number 4. Dolores Umbridge, Harry Potter. Dolores Umbridge, the pink-clad, kitten-loving bureaucrat from the Harry Potter series, is the epitome of despised characters in literature and film alike. Played with chilling perfection by Imelda Staunton, Umbridge represents everything about unchecked authority and abuse of power, from her sicky-sweet demeanor to her sadistic methods of discipline, including making students write lines with quills that etch the words into their skin. Umbridge is loathed by both the characters in the story and audiences worldwide. Her allegiance to the Ministry of Magic and her unwavering loyalty to the oppressive regime of Lord Voldemort make her a detested figure in the wizarding world. Despite her eventual downfall, Umbridge's legacy of cruelty and oppression lingers, earning her a permanent place in the pantheon of hated characters. What sets Umbridge apart as her hated character is her ability to inflict harm under the guise of authority and order. Her penchant of using physical punishment, such as forcing students to write lines with blood quill pens that scarred their skin, demonstrates her sadistic nature hidden beneath a facade of primness and propriety. Number 3. Percy Wetmore, The Green Mile. Percy Wetmore, the sadistic prison guard from The Green Mile, is a character whose very presence elicits feelings of revulsion and disgust. Played with chilling intensity by Doug Hutchinson, Percy delights in inflicting suffering on the inmates of Cold Mountain Penitentiary. From his cruel treatment of the gentle giant John Coffey to his manipulation of the system to satisfy his own desire for power and control, Percy embodies the worst aspects of human nature. His actions, including sabotaging executions and tormenting prisoners, makes him a figure of contempt and loathing among both his fellow guards and the audience. Despite his eventual comeuppance, Percy's legacy of cruelty and corruption stains the halls of Cold Mountain Penitentiary, earning him a title of one of the cinema's most hated characters. Number 2. Dennis Nedry, Jurassic Park. Dennis Nedry, the bumbling computer programmer from Jurassic Park, is a character whose incompetence and greed make him universally despised. Played with slimy charm by Wayne Knight, Nedry's betrayal of his employer, John Hammond, and his sabotage of the park's security system leads to disastrous consequences. From his arrogant attitude to his selfish disregard for the safety of others, Nedry embodies the worst traits of humanity. His actions unleash chaos and death upon the island, resulting in the loss of innocent lives and the destruction of Hammond's dream. Despite his eventual demise of the jaws of the Dilophosaurus, Nedry's legacy of greed and incompetence lives on, earning him a permanent place among cinema's most hated characters. Nedry's betrayal of John Hammond, the eccentric billionaire behind Jurassic Park, highlights the dangers of prioritizing profit over ethics and safety. His disregard for the potential consequences of his actions demonstrates a lack of empathy and foresight, making him a character audiences love to hate. Despite his comical demeanor and penchant for junk food, Nedry's actions have deadly consequences. By disabling the park's security systems, he unwittingly allows the dinosaurs to escape their enclosure, putting the lives of everyone on the island at risk. His greed and incompetence ultimately lead to chaos, destruction, and loss of life. Number 1. Komodo, Gladiator. Komodo, the treacherous emperor of Rome from Gladiator, is a character whose cruelty and depravity make him the ultimate villain. Played with chilling menace by Joaquin Phoenix, Komodo's lust for power knows no bound. From his murder of his own father to the manipulation of the Roman Senate and his brutal treatment of his enemies, Komodo reveals in his role as Rome's tyrant. His betrayal of the noble general Maximus and his attempt to usurp the throne lead to a reign of terror and oppression. Despite his eventual downfall at the hands of Maximus, Komodo's legacy of bloodshed and tyranny lives on, earning him a permanent place in cinematic history as one of the most hated characters of all time. Well, folks, that ends our discussion. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. And don't forget to leave your valuable thoughts in the comment section. Until next time.